Hi there. This video is an exam paper walkthrough of the AQA GCSE Mathematics Foundation Tier Paper 2 from summer 2023. This paper is worth 80 marks in total, and this is the second video of 4. It will focus on questions 7 to 11, which account for 25 of these marks. AQA Paper 2s are calculator papers, so a calculator should be used. A little disclaimer: there may be more than one way to answer a question. The methods shown in this video are not the only way some mathematical skills can be applied. Okay, let's get started. Question 7a. Complete the boxes using 2 different even numbers and 2 different odd numbers. So we've got 4 numbers in total that are being added together to make a total of 46. We want 2 of the numbers to be even and 2 of the numbers to be odd. So I'm going to start by picking 2 even numbers. So let's pick 6 and 4. Well, 6 plus 4 equals 10. 46 subtract 10 equals 36. So these 2 boxes need to add to 36. But I need them both to be odd numbers now, and I need them to be different odd numbers. So I'm going to pick an odd number. So let's say 11. So if I pop 11 in that box, 36 subtract 11 is 25. 25 is an odd number, so then I can add that in the box there. 2 even numbers and 2 odd numbers. Let's double check that they add to 46. So 6 plus 4 plus 11 plus 25 equals 46. Good. So we're going to use those numbers. 7b. Complete the boxes using a factor of 12 and a factor of 40. So we want a factor of 12 and a factor of 40 that are going to multiply together to give us an answer of 30. So let's start by writing the factors of 12. So I'm going to list them as factor pairs. So we can have 1 times 12, 2 times 6 and 3 times 4. And then I'm going to list the factors of 40. So we can have 1 times 40, 2 times 20, 4 times 10, 5 times 8. And then we would get back round to 8 times 5, 10 times 4. So that's our factor pairs of 40. So I need one of these and one of these that's going to multiply together to make 30. So 3 times 10 is 30. 3 is a factor of 12. 10 is a factor of 40. So it meets the criteria. So 3 times 10 equals 30. 7c. Complete the boxes using a square number and a prime number. So we're looking for a square number and a prime number that's going to give us an answer of 18 when we divide them. So square numbers. 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36. Okay, so we've got some square numbers there. Let's list some prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. So let's see if we can make any of these work. So I want one of these numbers divided by one of these numbers to get 18. Okay, so if I do 36 divided by 2, that gives me 18. So our square number is 36 and our prime number is 2. Question 8. 93 people were asked if they played online games one day. The frequency tree shows some information about their answers. So this is our frequency tree. So we have a total of 93 people. 48 people said yes to playing a game. And then here we've got, following on from that, if they played more than one game or not. 8a. 75% of the people who answered yes played one game. complete the frequency tree. So first of all, I'm going to complete this bubble. So these two bubbles should add to 93 because the branches connect them to that first bubble. So if I do 93 subtract 48, that tells me that there should be 45 inside that bubble. Next, I need to fill these two. I know they need to add to 48, but I don't have any of them yet, which is where this statement is important. 75% of the people who answered yes played one game. So this is if they played more than one game. So if they played more than one game, they're in this bubble. But if they only played one game, they're in this bubble. So that's 75% of these people is in that bubble, and it's 75% of 48. So to find 75% of 48, we can multiply 48 by 0.75 because that is the multiplier for 75%. So that tells us that there are 36 people in that bubble. And then for here, we're going to do 48 subtract 36 because these two bubbles should add up to 48. So 48 subtract 36 would give us 12. And we've completed all of the spaces in that frequency tree now. Notice I used my calculator. It's there. It's a calculator paper. I've written what I've typed into my calculator down as working out, but I've made sure that my answers are correct. 8b. One of the 93 people is chosen at random. The probability that they use social media is more than 0.68. What is the smallest possible number of people who use social media? So we need to find out how many of these 93 people use social media. So we're going to take that probability and we're going to multiply it by 93. So 0.68 multiplied by 93 gives us an answer of 63.24. We can't have 0.24 of a person, so we're going to round that to 64. Now this probability says the probability that they use social media is more than 0.68. So because it's more than, that's why we've rounded to 64. And that 64 is the smallest possible number of people that use social media. If we went higher than 64, we wouldn't have the smallest because 64 is the next whole number when we're dealing with the more than inequality. 9a. The cost of a TV streaming service is £6 per month for the first 4 months, then £11 per month for the rest of the year. Work out the total cost for the year. So we're dealing with a full year, so we're dealing with 12 months. That's an important fact to know. So for the first 4 months, they're paying £6. So 6 times 4 means £24 for the first 4 months. Now, 12 take away 4 tells us that there are 8 months left to pay for. So for those remaining months, they're paying the £11 a month fee. So we're doing 11 times 8, which is £88. And it wants the total cost. So we're going to add those two amounts together. And the total cost is £112. 9b. A TV series has 10 episodes. 9 episodes are 50 minutes long. 1 episode is 1 hour 42 minutes long. Work out the total length of the series. Give your answer in hours and minutes. So 9 episodes at 50 minutes. So 9 times 50 is 450 minutes in total. Now our answer says it wants hours and minutes, so we're going to do 450 divided by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So if we divide that by 60, we get 7.5. So that's 7 hours, 30 minutes. Because 0.5, half of an hour is 30 minutes. So 7 hours, 30 minutes for the first 9 episodes. And then that 1 episode is 1 hour, and 42 minutes long. So we need to find the total of these two. So 7 hours plus 1 hour is 8 hours. 30 minutes plus 42 minutes. 30 plus 42 is 72. So it's 72 minutes. So we need, this has gone above 60. So we need to now convert that into hours and minutes as well. So if we subtract 60 from 72, that's 1 hour to add on. So we've got 9 hours and then the remaining 12 minutes. So our answer is 9 hours, 12 minutes for the full series. (10A). There are 1,020 books in a box. 2/5 of the books are blue. How many are blue? So we're going to find 2/5 of 1,020. So first of all, we're going to do 1,020 divided by 5. Which is 204. So that's 1/5. And then if I multiply 204 by 2, tells me that there are 408 blue books. (10B). There are green pens and red pens in the box. The ratio of green to red is 4:3. So green to red, just to make it clear to myself. What fraction of the pens are green? Well, the ratio 4 plus 3 has 7 parts in total. So the denominator of our fraction needs to be 7. The green part of the ratio is 4, so the numerator needs to be 4. So the fraction of pens that are green is 4/7. (10C). There are some calculators in the box. 220 are scientific, 30 are not. What percentage of the calculators are scientific? So if we do 220 plus 30, this is going to tell us how many calculators in the box altogether. So that's 250 calculators in total. 220 of them are scientific calculators. So 220 out of 250 are scientific. We want a percentage, so we're going to multiply that by 100. So we can use our fraction button, 220, 250, arrow away from the fraction, multiplied by 100, which gives us 88% that are scientific. So we'll write 88 on our answer line. Question 11. Here is a Venn diagram. So we have a set of 60 people. H are the people who own a gaming headset. So we've got H, and that's this circle of the Venn diagram here. W here are people who own a smartwatch. So that circle are people who own smartwatches. 11A, 15 of the people own a smartwatch. Complete the Venn diagram. So if 15 people own a smartwatch, they need to be in the W circle. But what we need to remember is that 7 is already included in that circle. So we're going to do 15 subtract 7. So 15 subtract 7 equals 8. So we need 8 to go there. So we have a total of 15 in our smartwatch circle. Now we need to fill in this missing part at the bottom. So we need to find the total of the 3 numbers that are in the circle. So 24 plus 7 plus 8 is 39. But we've been told there are 60 people in total. So 60 subtract 39 is 21. So 21 go on the outside of the Venn diagram. One of the 60 people is chosen at random. What is the probability that they both own both a gaming headset and a smartwatch? So we've got 60 people in total. So we're going to have 60 on the bottom of our fraction. And then we want those that own a gaming headset and a smartwatch. So that's this intersection in the middle. So we're going to put 7 on top. So it's 7 out of 60. 11C. Marek is going to buy a gaming headset that costs £35. He already has £19. He plans to save the rest in 2 equal amounts over the next 2 weeks. He uses this method to work out in pounds how much to save each week. What is wrong with his method? So what's wrong with his method is he hasn't taken into account order of operations. So what he's wanting to do is subtract the £19 that he already has from 35 and then split it into 2 equal parts. So what we should have is a pair of brackets there so that he subtracts the £19 that he has before he then divides by 2. So needs